Hey, what's up, y'all?
India.
And I'm Michelle.
And we are reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 12, episode 13. And we're going to get into it because we are tired and it's late.
And you know what, y'all?
What? What happened, girl?
This episode was just a lot.
It was giving roller coaster.
It was giving divorce everywhere. Divorce everywhere.
It was.
Because, let's just go. Eric and Virginia were first.
Okay, so first, Virginia's sister came to visit with the boys.
So reasonable. Like, the fact that
reasonable.
these people have very good people in their lives, but have made very bad decisions, is just very odd to me.
Yeah.
Or, like, they don't have good judgment, they don't trust themselves.
Yeah.
But then everybody around them be like, well, just do this, or no. Like,
Girl, the sister came and she was like, look, don't rush. Y'all just met.
Right.
Marriage is hard. Time before you, all the things that we thought a sister would say.
Yes. And Eric wasn't looking that excited to see her sister. I'm gonna be honest. Like, he just don't never give no energy unless he fake talking about how well they get along. And
she did mention that, he has the same values as our dad. And she
girl,
was like,
and she had a whole little jerk face. And then she kept it together. The sister kept it together, but she was like,
because she know that dad is hateful, honey.
Yeah, she knows what that means. And so here's the thing. He was being mean to the dog when he was taking the dog out with the kids. I just don't like the way he treats her dog. And I understand that he's annoyed and mean. And I mean, he thinks that the dog needs training and all that stuff. But it's just this level of like disgust or disdain that it rubs me the wrong way. And I don't even have a dog, y'all. I don't even have animals like that. But anybody could see that he being unnecessarily mean to that dog. It's like he want to lay the law down with the dog because he can't lay the law down with Virginia.
I don't trust him. I would never have kids with him. That's how he would be with some kids.
Right. And so when they were talking to the sister, she was like, asking questions, and he was like, yeah, with the dog. Like, he bring up the fact they had the issues with the dog. It's just, this dog ain't the issue. He's the issue.
It's all control. All of it is control. Like you said, it's not the dog.
It's not the dog.
You want to control every aspect of her life. And yeah, her dog might be a little rowdy or not. Whatever, then you just go on and say, I'm taking the dog to do some training. And that's it.
It just ain't that deep. Yeah. It ain't that deep except for the fact that he want to get his aggression out somewhere. And he know Virginia gonna walk out on his ass if he do too much, so he'd be doing it to the dog.
Another thing she was telling her sister was that he keep giving her the ultimatum for the kids.
Right, so she's calling it an ultimatum. That's I hate that I agree with Eric in this way, but the bottom line is, why would they put two people together that don't want the same thing? Like kids. Kids are non-negotiables.
Yeah, that's not a...
Kids are either you want them or you don't, and if you're on the fence, both people got to be on the fence together. You cannot have one person that wants kids and one that's on the fence.
Okay.
So that's not an ultimatum, it's a deal breaker. He would have never married you or dated you if you didn't want kids. Or he would have had to come to that realization on his own. Like, you stick to your guns. I don't think you should change your mind. Like, be true to you, but understand that there's consequences for that. Everybody ain't gonna want to be with somebody that may not want kids. So find somebody that don't want kids with you.
She talked to Pastor Kyle about that as well.
Yeah, and I didn't like the fact that Pastor Cal, what did he say?
He wasn't saying it how you put it.
No.
He was just basically like...
He was like, he should say it differently. Now, I think everything Eric says and does, he should say differently. Because he's really bad at communicating and getting... Like, he would get way more if he could just say things right.
Yep.
Who you talking to? That's how I feel every time he says something. Like, who are you talking to?
He was talking to Dr. Pepper, and Dr. Pepper was talking about the compromise with the going out and even her drinking. And when he met her in person, he done totally switched it up. And it's like, that's not what Dr. Pepper said.
Right.
She said, talk about a compromise. He's like, well, no, you need to cancel plans for me.
No, she didn't say that. Ain't nobody say that.
1 weekend out the month, it be about us.
And when he said that, she said fine.
Yep.
But then
that's just her thing. She just wanted it to be planned.
But as soon as she was like, he don't want nobody telling him what to do. As soon as she was like, as long as you don't
try to cancel plans
last minute. As soon as she put that out there.
That was reasonable. I ain't gonna lie. I thought that was a reasonable request of Virginia.
Like, what?
That's it.
And maybe every once in a while she might cancel, but who cancels on their friends all the time? Like nobody. Who,
he just wants to know that he has control. And he even told Dr. Pepper,
I'm not going out with my friends if they cancel on me every other week. Like, we not. Go with somebody else. Go with your husband.
Everybody need to plan. The friends, y'all playing the weekends, y'all gonna hang out. And if it's something that comes up, and then y'all playing.
He feels like just because she does it all the time, it loses its value and its importance. Now, like she said, I won't plan something, but if I already have plans, I already agreed to do something. I'm not going to just cancel on people because you came around. Come with us.
But look, Dr. Pepper didn't like that stuff with that drinking.
So Dr. Pepper, but that's the thing. And I mean, obviously she gets to see the footage. So she sees Virginia always asking for a glass. But Eric, when he does drink, is a problem too.
They both got alcohol issues.
But
his
he
might
doesn't.
Be binging and hers might be purging. What's the word? I don't know, child.
Hers is she just don't say no. She don't turn down a glass. He can have dinner without a glass, but once he does drink, clearly he goes to the limit. The other thing was that Dr. Pepper was like, what's the problem? He brings up the dog situation. She was like, why do you have to be, why does that have to be your position?
Thing she said all episode.
She was like, why? And he was like, well, because it's us. That has never made sense to me. Like, these people, do the producers tell them you gotta treat this like a real marriage? Because in 1 month, you're not coming in and gonna be team takeover. Nope. Like, you don't get to be the vice president of the dog committee of what to do with my damn dog. That's my dog. It's still my dog.
Dr. Pepper said it's like a child. If somebody had a child coming in,
you're not gonna be their daddy on day one, right?
No.
And this dog is something that is more important than you because she just met you. Why they don't? I don't like the fact that they do that because I just know common sense.
Well,
has
she
to mean
was
otherwise.
saying that, and Virginia was like, "This is my dog."
Right, but him acting like it's not is a problem to me. So okay. But he also told Dr. Pepper that she's too independent for him.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he said that. He was like, she's almost too independent, but that's when it came up about the friends. And
I said, okay. So he actually showed a little bit of his colors. He's a control freak. Yeah. He wants to control her. That is abusive. Yes. That is controlling, and he's gonna hit her one day.
Ooh, not pop her in the head.
He is. Okay. He's gonna grab her, and then grab gonna go to choke, and then choke gonna go to.
He does get abusive. I said that last video. He gets very abusive vibes. He also is not about the quality time spent with her. It's about controlling what she's doing and thinking that you have control over her schedule.
That he's the one that chooses.
Because if you really, he's talking about, my schedule doesn't always work like that. You are a military pilot and a airline pilot.
You are on a schedule.
You're on a schedule.
And you know what that schedule is.
Your schedule is going to be extended maybe if you get stuck somewhere because of weather or whatever.
Right.
It's not going to be where you're going to come home early and you're going to have to change a plan. Like, I was like, that's BS. It's not that. It's control. You want control over what she does. You don't care about spending quality time because you were planning it. Yeah. And that's it.
It would be.
And y'all live together.
Anyway. Oh, the other thing they talked about with her sister was his house, was the living arrangements.
Yeah, what did she say about that? Because I was with Team Eric on the living arrangement.
Now the living arrangement,
he's controlling. I see why she don't want to be in his space. I forgot what did the sister say about the living. Was she team? I think she was team her sister. Like, don't go. I don't think the sister liked this concept, so she like, don't get rid of your stuff for him. That's what I think.
She's just like, y'all. What did the sister say? I don't know.
What did the sister say, y'all?
It was early on. We were still moving around. We wasn't paying as close attention as we should have, but. It's okay. Eric and Virginia need to say no, and I think they're going to say yes.
Yeah, me too.
And then it's going to be a problem. So,
B&V, next.
Brianna and Vincent. So, the first thing we see is Brianna trying to wake him up, which we find out later is a part of the storyline. Trying to wake him up in the morning. And he's like, no, I want to sleep. Okay, so we see that. We know that comes up later. Then they talk about expenses. And, I mean, I really felt like that was a good conversation to have. I just wasn't sure that... I felt like they were getting hung up on the wrong stuff.
I think he's not being honest. I think she was pretty honest in that conversation.
She was being honest.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
She said, I'm not frugal, so I got expenses and stuff I want to spend on. I'm going to be honest about how much I spend on clothes, shoes. Like, let's be honest about our budget.
But I just feel like there's a household budget and then there's a personal budget. Like, they didn't talk about like, okay, well, this is how much money that I'm bringing into the household. This is how much you're bringing into the household. This is where we are. Because I don't feel like the clothing budget is a part of the household budget. The clothing budget is your disposable income, and that's yours. And you can spend all $1,000 of it on clothes if you want to, but that's it. You're going to have to eat home, and you can't buy lunch out. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, everybody does manage their finances differently. But
this might have just been an activity that they was like just.
But I also felt like they. So I mean, when they met with Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal, I also felt like they were the most realistic. So we know that they're the one couple that seems like they're gonna make it, and they carried it that way. Like they didn't try to act perfect. They acknowledged that they had issues. They both actually said that they had the similar issues, communication.
Yep.
And so I do feel like they're on the right path because they're going for the right things. I just think that Vincent is hiding something about why.
Y'all, I think Vincent done put all his money into this business and he don't have it like he did. Maybe 2-3 years ago, he was a big spender and now he really.
But he's not, neither of them are 30 years old.
Well, he might have been not financially free and now he's trying to be there.
I mean, I understand that, but you can't expect to go into a relationship new with somebody and think that you're going to like dictate what they do with their money.
And this is why I liked her point. Does your financial stuff have to do with me? Because honestly, now we're married and we're combining incomes because clearly they don't seem like he's going to be paying the bills, right? So
he's not paying
if anything, that money you're saving,
you're still not spending the same amount of money.
Because his apartment was really nice. If that was his apartment, although I think it was rented. Remember, we saw his apartment, and I said that wasn't his apartment.
But her place was cute too.
So y'all can do either. Y'all are going to be saving.
No matter what you save.
You're saving with utilities and all that stuff, having a dual income, just housing. You can put that stuff and let her still do what she's doing because both of y'all gonna be saving.
Unless,
so the budgets don't really gotta change because no matter
what. Unless his budget is low to the flow because.
Oh, that apartment was very nice, honey.
He's not.
But we all know that that's not his.
Okay, so so that's what I said. What is Vince holding back? Because it's something that he's not saying that is not adding up here. Because it just, and then she was like, I don't know. So they talked about the dates and the fact that she was just like, I don't want to give up on dating and courting, which I 100% agree with her on. In this situation, you just met each other. You still gotta take me out
all the time.
Because if we met out if we met out outside of this process, we would be dating for a year. Before we even considered moving in together, let alone engagement and marriage. So if that's the case,
he said if we got all this stuff at home, what's the point of going out? I don't even think he believes.
I wanted to turn the TV off. Ain't nobody shooting pool with you every night. Get out of here.
No. And I want and the point is they don't have any experiences with each other. That's the difference between this marriage and a normal marriage. You have to build the experience. To build the foundation. Pastor Cal told us that last season.
Right. So, I just think that, so then the other thing she brought up was her concern about childbirth or, having a baby with her high blood pressure, which is completely understandable because Virginia had the same issue. We didn't even talk about that, but Virginia and her childbirthing issue, or child.
But hers was, I don't think I'm going to be a good mama. And I believe that. She believed that.
Yeah, back to Virginia, she said that. But then when she told Eric that it was that she was worried, like, what if she couldn't have kids? First of all, you're now 25. Like, I just feel like they're just bringing up, they're just throwing anything out there. They're just throwing stuff out there.
He said the right thing. Like, if it's an issue with kids and we're
clearly not the same.
It's not the same as you don't want kids and there's no hope.
Right.
Why would I stay with somebody who don't want kids and I want kids?
So her fear of being a bad mom, I understand. And then he kind of genuinely was like, you're so good with kids, or she's so good with kids. Like, I don't know why she would think that. So that's why it just feels crazy. But she has trauma. Her parents messed her up.
Okay, back to Brianna and her pregnancy.
Right. She at the end brought it up, but it was like it came out of nowhere. I mean, she did bring up the hypertension, and I mean, there are people that just naturally hereditarily have hypertension or high cholesterol or other things. But there's plenty of people out there that have children that have that. Like you deal with it, you adjust, you take medicine, you had a baby, and then you get back to normal. Like, it's a fear, but I don't know that it's like
She said she had a debilitating fever.
And then he said, well, you should have kids sooner than later. Like, checkmate.
Yeah.
Like, why are you trying to wait? The older you get, it's not going to get better, lady.
Yeah. I don't know if I believe that's all.
I don't know.
You
Maybe
think she just might not want kids? What if she just don't want kids?
Well, you can't be over here lying, lady.
That's true. They the only two that did not lie to the experts.
They were. So I do think that their relationship is... Oh, God.
But everybody else was lying.
So, the last thing was them compromising on sleep.
Oh, y'all. So we was watching this together, right? I was like, maybe it's no way that she just wants him up because we thought he was projecting when he told
Pastor Cal
that, she thinks I'm lazy. We was like, he just projecting. She probably just want to be up and cook breakfast and stuff. When she was like, when he asked her which was a great question. That's why the experts need to be there because who would have randomly asked that? Why do you want me up? And she basically said, because when you're up early, you're more productive.
You don't get to choose when I'm productive.
And some people are productive at night.
Some people are productive at night.
Kids, so what? Some people are literally productive at night or productive after they have a good meal and they exercise. Like it don't.
It's people that wake up in the morning and run 3 miles. It's people that get home at night at 10 o'clock and run 3 miles. Yeah. You don't get to tell me when I do my thing.
He was kind of right. And then
she didn't want to compromise.
And then he asked her to compromise. If that was her idea of compromise, they're in trouble.
They are in trouble.
Because that wasn't a compromise. Because he was like, okay, what's the compromise? She was like, what's our compromise? Okay, he said, then what's our compromise? It wasn't a compromise. He tried. He was like,
try. What are you going to compromise?
And she was like, we'll just both go to bed early. Oh, when I'm in bed, you're on your phone. We need to wind down. Like it's a control.
That's controlling too. And I mean, I do agree that there can be rules. There's plenty of couples that say like after a certain time, no phones at dinner, no phones. Mm-hmm, like that's fine. But that has to be a conversation. You're dating an entrepreneur. Their work hours are not 9 to 5.
Yep.
So I get that. Mm-hmm. But lady, you can't tell this man that he can't stay up late.
It's honestly kind of early on to be showing them colors like that. That's why I think it's only going to get worse. I just think it's COVID. If this man want to stay up late and wake up late, like people got different stuff going on with their mental health. Like nobody's going into like people. Let people do what they
change this man's sleeping habits in 6 weeks though.
It's COVID. Let people do what they want to do.
In 6 weeks. It's just
That's
certain.
Why I said it's gonna get worse,
right? It's just certain L's you gotta take. Why is you dying? Like, why is you?
And was not willing to compromise.
Like her compromise was crap. Okay.
Speaking of crap, Clara and Ryan, the liars, Pinocchio 1 and Pinocchio 2.
They lie, y'all.
They lie. They lie. I don't even got nothing to say about them. Like both of them sat there and lied to the experts.
They both said 10 out of 10. Like Clara, 2 nights ago, you were just talking about how this dude was using you for like to get off, and you weren't doing anything. You weren't getting anything in return.
But it's a 10 out of 10. That means that's what little you think that you deserve. All right, Paige.
That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. They just lying on camera. Like they literally, honestly, y'all go back and watch it. Look at their faces, like they were twitching. Like they were looking like, how can you tell I'm lying? Like it was like the cameras was zoomed in on their faces, and you could see the wheels turning. Like I'm gonna just say this and like let me control my face and make sure it doesn't look like I'm lying. They was lying.
Well, I was like, are we in a fucking Twilight Zone? Are we watching 2 different things? That's what I put on my note. What is going on? Nothing that they said matched what was going on. No. And I could see Ryan kind of lying because he's the one that never wanted to talk about sex. He don't want to talk about sex. So they were going to have to pull that out of him. But for the fact that you sat up there and said your marriage was a 10 out of 10 and y'all don't have no issues and they had to pull that out of you, you know they watched the footage, right? You know they was going to ask you. So you might as well say, we're good, everything's good, intimacy is an issue. Nope. Now you just look freaking crazy. And they belong together. And
when Dr. Pepper asked him, like, hey, what about this? He was like, or what about her? Is she okay with that? He's like, I guess I should ask her.
Sure. Girl, that may get on my last nerves with that shirt.
Yeah, sure.
And then when he went to her with Dr. Pepper's questions or whoever he was meeting with, questions too.
Dr. Pepper wanted me to ask you.
Right, how do you feel about how I feel about intimacy?
And then she lied.
Girl, then she admitted to Pastor Cal that he had relationships that he never had sex with.
Oh, right, girl. That he went a year without having sex.
Yeah, he said he had long-term relationships.
So are we still not...
He might be a
Or
virgin.
is he a virgin? Is he a virgin? Vivian, Dr. V was on it. Yeah. Dr. V has some discernment.
Or is he did he have sex a couple times in high school and hasn't had sex in 10 years? There's those too. Because that's how Deanna was in North Carolina.
Oh, right.
Well,
And she didn't say sex. She had situations. So, no. But what Pastor Cal, he started to ask her, do you know when? And she cut him off and was like, oh no, every time I ask him when, he pushes back. I thought Pastor Cal was going to ask her, when is the last time he had sex? Like, period. Like, do you know, or do you know if he had sex in his last relationship? Like, those are the questions we need to know.
How she was saying that, I don't think he had sex in that last relationship. But maybe it was a Christian thing and they were waiting and it never got anywhere.
That's true, and that's fine.
He didn't just say I love you though.
But if that's the decision that two people made, that's cool. She wants sex. Period.
He don't care.
And he doesn't.
And what if it's
not good? It's all on his terms. And okay. So
and she's letting it be because she's sitting up there lying.
The other thing was spirituality and religion. So he finally who knows what happened in the actual when they were talking about it because they cut away from the scene. But he was not happy with her answer as far as how she felt about having a Christian household. He didn't even say Christian, he should have, but he said like religion. But Dr. Pepper gave him a very explicit answer, or Dr. Pepper's question to him was, do you want to have kids in a Christian household? Yep. Like, that's the bottom line. And he was like, yes. And Clara did not say yes.
Yeah. And then they said, we're going to cross that bridge when we get to it.
And he was like, no, that's not good. But he didn't say that to her right then and there. She said, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. No. The 10 out of 10 is just a farce.
Fallacy.
Just... So,
anything else with Ryan and Claire besides them being liars, like top liars?
No.
Okay. Well, the main event, they done circled back and became the main event, y'all. Chris and Paige.
I didn't even write notes because I just knew I would remember it all.
It was so egregious. It was just...
Okay, so I have a few feelings, but let's just get to it. So, it starts with Paige.
What was she doing?
She had on a helmet.
Oh, that wig?
A helmet.
Not a helmet.
She was wearing a helmet today.
Paige, like, you supposed to I don't wear lace fronts, but I know that it's supposed to be thinner.
There has to be a sense of realness.
Don't nobody hair just start thick like that. Child.
Her wigs be bad, honey.
And that confessional wig she had on, that one with this little swoop thing, that was very bad. I said, okay, now I see why Chris don't want her. I was team Paige, but I said, okay, now.
That's not right though, but that wig was horrible. Her wigs were horrible.
And her friends should be ashamed.
Her wigs was horrible. So
anyways, start with Paige.
Okay.
What happened?
Hey, so she's talking to Dr. Pepper, and Dr. Pepper is apologizing, and she's telling her, my gosh, like, it shouldn't have been this way, all these things. Now, I understand that the producers are responsible for this because they casted somebody who was not willing to go through the process. This ain't the first time they've casted somebody that's not willing to go through the process. It's the first time they've had such a narcissistic asshole that was willing to show his true colors on camera.
That's how Matt was a little bit, but he takes the cake.
Matt and Zach.
Yeah.
Matt and Zach both, they both were like not attracted, right? So, okay. So, or I guess Matt was attracted to, Matt liked her enough to have sex with anybody. So when it came to that, I felt like Dr. Pepper, like, they're acknowledging some parts of it, and we know that it was wrong, and that's not what he presented himself a certain way. When are we going to acknowledge that Paige stayed on that train for 10 stops too many? Like, you was supposed to get off on the stop where the day after y'all were married and the day y'all had sex, he told you he wasn't attracted to you. So it's not a secret that Chris is not attracted to Paige because Chris has actually been an asshole from jump and been mean. I mean, because so this is where I have the thing, and I don't want to talk the whole time, but we all know beauty is in the eye of the beholder. We're not going to be attracted to everyone. There are people that you are not attracted to. There are people that I am not attracted to. Like, that's fine. And what are we not attracted to? Their face. Something about them we don't like. Are we going to tell them? No. Nobody does that. That's what makes Chris an asshole. But this time...
And the delivery.
The delivery. But Pastor Cal was asking.
Yeah.
And kept asking.
And
well, besides the physicality, what was it? No, it was the physicality.
And he did preface that Chris said, yeah, you're right. On paper, we were perfect. I'm not attracted to her. So besides that, I just said,
what y'all want this to, like, y'all want him to be an asshole on camera and then be like, oh, he an asshole.
That's what they want, and they got it this episode.
So, but then he flipped the script and he took it. He was like, he said, "Hold my beer." Right. He was like, "Y'all."
But I don't like how they kept. He just said, "I'm not attracted to the face." Like Paige is a human being. Like it's the most fucked up
messed up.
But like y'all just saying the face.
It's messed up. So we all know what not being attracted to somebody is, and it's
we already know that he's attracted to her shape,
and we know right. So he's already made it very clear that he did not think she was pretty. We knew that. We knew that. Everybody knew that. The producers knew that. The
and
experts
let me make
knew
something
that.
real clear, Chris. You are not a looker
at all. So that's why. And so the most people have enough. Most people are not narcissistic. And they have enough self-awareness to know that they're not going to be everybody's cup of tea either. So while you may not be I may not be attracted to you,
and people are
there's people that aren't attracted to me. So I'm not going to just be this rude ass person and be like, you're ugly. I'm just going to be like, this is not working for me for lots of different reasons. Shit, you lie. Like there's things you do to save people's feelings because it's just not worth it to be mean. Like if you don't, but he doesn't care. Pastor Cal said that to him.
You don't care at all about
you don't care about her feelings because you are at a point where you will hurt her. You know it's gonna hurt her and you don't mind.
Yep.
Like you saying she could come with us to the dealership. What difference is that? He just want to be able to say he bought Mercedes and that is so stupid.
I swear, as soon as he said, when Pastor Cal said, and you bought a Mercedes, I was like, dang, he bought her name Mercedes, he bought a Mercedes. 2 seconds later, I bought Mercedes. He's so fucking corny and predictable
and not attractive. So like that's the thing. Like you're not attractive.
And out, and that hair is tragic. That face is tragic. Everything about him is so tragic. But when Paige got on that confessional, I said, well, she was looking a little tragic herself.
But honestly, it was crazy that it's so stupid that they would have Chris. I don't know what they would expect from Chris other than what he's always been giving, which is asshole. And then that this man is not attracted to her. So why are you going to continue to ask him why he's not attracted to her?
Ratings, they want to keep poking the bear
so
they
it's
can act
messed
shocked.
up. So that's what's messed up because they didn't have to ask that. They didn't have to do that,
and they didn't have to air it, but they knew they had to.
They did. That's the thing. Yeah. So all of this stuff. And Paige, yes, she had to kind of be here for it, but it didn't have to happen this way. She was a party to it. And I will never take that back. She was a party to it because she could have carried this a whole different way. Because she could have been like, y'all are going to get dust for me. I will come, but I am not staying married to him. I am not talking to him. I will be in a room with him. That doesn't mean I have to talk to him.
I wonder how she's gonna feel when she see this episode. Like it's the consistent just acting like she's not a person.
There are messed up things that Chris did. Don't get me wrong, but I just feel like why would the producers and Pastor Cal keep asking him, keep giving him an opportunity to be that?
Ask her. It's just messed up.
It just doesn't make sense.
They don't care.
So
I'm about to write letters to the producers and say, y'all gonna stop getting on this show and embarrassing Black women.
That's what it is, and
it's too much.
But I don't know. So she really was, even when she was talking to Dr. Pepper, though, she kept saying that, she kept trying, like, why would he do this? And we're legally married. And why would he come on the show if he still had feelings for his ex? So let's act like him getting her pregnant prior to the show starting was a real thing. What if he wasn't still into his ex and then he just got her pregnant and then you just got to deal with those repercussions? Like, stop acting so dense. Paige, like, he didn't know you. And no, somebody that doesn't know you is not necessarily going to put you above somebody else that they know.
That he was engaged to.
And that is supposedly pregnant.
The mother of his child.
So, like, let's stop playing these games.
She's purposely obtuse, but I think we need to get into the psychology of Paige. Something going
Yeah,
on.
I mean, everybody is saying it's the black church or it's the church in general. The fact that it's like she's like brainwashed into thinking that this is she has to give her all and submit to this marriage that is a farce and that's fake. And even though because it's a marriage in the name of God, and then she's like, oh, but it's legal. Is it legal or is it ordained by God? Because legal don't matter if it's ordained by God. Now my blood pressure up. Okay, so
dang, we still got two. Oh no, just Jake
no,
and Haley.
But
All right,
okay.
anything. It was just a shit show.
It really was, and it was like it. At first, I wasn't with Chris, but at first I was just like, "What do y'all expect Chris to say?" And then he went on. Right, we knew what he was gonna give, and then he goes on. Oh, and Dr. Pepper called him a narcissist. So okay, so she done gave her
diagnosis.
Her professional opinion is that Chris is a narcissist. But besides that, Chris did say, so I was so mad that he gonna talk about, of all the people in Atlanta, this is who y'all picked.
He said black queens, white queens, Hispanic queens.
And
this is all I got. Like, y'all should have did better. I'm not picky. If you said you're not picky and you wanted a boss wife, that's what you got. Or you wanted somebody equally yoked.
They looked at you and they looked at her and they said, good. So how about that? You look in the mirror, Chris. You look in the mirror.
Ooh, good one.
You look in the mirror. Because the producers thought that y'all was a match. I just, so that was a bridge too far.
Yeah.
That was a bridge too far. Like, he's always going to do it.
He's hateful.
Yeah. So it's stuff that he does that is just so unforgivable, but the producers like give him a whole stage and be like, come on, Chris.
You gave me that. Like, yo, when Paige see this, she gonna need serious therapy.
I mean, honestly, if she didn't already act the way she did, she wouldn't, because he's a joke. He's a joke. Like, he doesn't even matter. But the problem is she gave him way too much power.
And we saw the previews from, I think it was the last time when it was going to be the Decision Day previews. And she was like, he's the most honest man I know. Oh, yeah, he honest, all right. He got on national TV and told the world. And
told the world all these very disgusting things.
Yeah, he's a trifling man.
So finally, we get to Jake and Haley.
Hey.
I mean, they trying. They really trying.
About 5 minutes of the whole episode.
They only showed them at the last 15-20 minutes.
Yeah.
I was ready for the show to be over by then.
Hell yeah.
So you got to give them something in there.
Okay, they talk.
What they got?
Okay. Oh, Haley got them tears.
Oh, y'all. So here was the thing.
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper
tried to call her out.
On very accurately stating that Jake was trying and she had not done anything.
Yep. No accountability. And then she went and stopped. I was like, I see if you start tearing up, because it's like, okay, the jig is up, Haley. What's the tea? You act like you trying and this and that, and you not. We see the tears. And she went and stopped. And then she
didn't answer the question, y'all. I was so mad that she got off the hook. Them tears work every time, y'all. The tears work.
That tear.
She said no, but it wasn't a failure. She don't care if this dang one thing is a failure.
It ain't a failure.
It's just
she don't consider it a failure.
She's faking it. Not that she's fake. She's not. It's not that. I don't mean faking it. She's fake crying to get out of having to answer the real question of, you are not doing anything but telling him what he's not and what he has to do to make you happy.
Yeah.
And
she's giving Ryan vibes.
And apparently, the word on the street is when they off camera, she don't act like nothing on camera. Like, no, she acts
I can't wait till this reunion, because I heard that too. I seen that on Reddit. He said he's an ass kind of on camera, or he's kind of short, because you don't. Because
that's not how you act
like that on camera.
Off
camera, and I can't just switch it like you can.
Right? So he's not giving you energy when
you don't give.
Yesterday you didn't speak to him.
Because even that random ass question, what have you done for the last 10 years, girl? You asked that 2 days before because you had on that same sweatshirt. Don't act like you've been asking it for 6 weeks. And
it's just the way it comes across. Like, what do you think somebody's response is? Like, the way that these people are talking to each other. Like, what do you think somebody's response is going to be if you're like, what have you been doing with your life for the last 10 years? Well, damn.
You know, going to work.
I mean, living. I live. I have fun. I enjoy my life.
Everything that I do every week.
Right. It's like she does not respect the fact that he doesn't like the things that she likes.
Yeah.
So I really do think that their compatibility is low, but it's like she doesn't know how to just be that. Like, she's making him wrong.
Well, Dr. Pepper said, you trying to find an inserter husband.
Right. And she ain't the first on the show to have that
that's
either.
That's how Olivia was from New Orleans.
Right.
Yeah, you trying to find an inserter husband, and now the jig is up and we see what you're trying to do. You ain't really bending her. She kept saying, "Oh, we're not putting on all." When they showed them clips of everything that he done been
and he's been taking it on the chin. Like, yeah. I mean, I think that he got his stuff with him, but he has been taking it on the chin.
He has.
So
Haley's been getting away with kind of faking a little bit, and now these last few episodes, you're really seeing Haley's true colors. And this one, where she started breaking down in tears for no goddamn reason. It's like, Haley, girl, you don't want him, and it's just you don't want him.
I was over it. And she, right. And so it's either you're not attracted to him physically. I think, actually, so speaking of casting, putting pictures together, they don't look bad together. Like, he may not be exactly what she's used to from a physical perspective, but I think she's not attracted to his personality more than the physical. And so I think when you put that out there, yeah, sometimes people don't have chemistry with their personalities. But don't try to make him change like everything about himself, and you're not even changing anything. Like,
I can't wait to see them on the reunion, because I think he's gonna let her have it, especially after seeing it.
I mean, I think he's been letting her have it on these unfiltered. I haven't seen them, but I think that his vibe is slightly different now.
Okay, cool.
So but I honestly, like,
I ain't writing no notes on that.
I mean, I want to care, but I don't.
Yeah, they're not gonna make it.
I don't want to care, actually.
It's only 2 more weeks left. 2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks plus. It's 2 weeks till decision day.
Well, yeah.
So it's 2 weeks till decision day. So it's about 4 more episodes, because it's 2 weeks, decision day, and then the reunion.
We'll see, y'all.
Okay, so I mean, y'all, at this point, don't nobody need to stay together, but maybe Brianna and Vince. But
I really hope Clara and Ryan don't make it, but I think they are gonna say yes. They don't need to. Like, Clara is just and Ryan.
What?
It's
Ryan. Why do people go on shows when they know they hide and stuff? Like, you know, like reality shows, couples do it. Like, why would you go on a show when you know you got skeletons in your closet, or you know you hiding who you are? Like, do people not realize, like, the camera really does show?
And we read it. We see right through you.
We see you.
You and Haley.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Well, don't forget to
Thanks for watching.
comment, and subscribe.
Yes, comment, and subscribe.
We will see you guys next week.
All right. Bye.